Alright, hello everybody. It is I, Granarite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We are finishing out Westminster in this episode, and then we're going to see about getting Ned's favor, whatever, all the way up. Alright, so few things about to get. We're just gonna be working our way around getting each one. They're gonna get upset at us. All right. Come on. So where was this? Too far away for it to pop up right now. There's a letter over there. That's what we're mainly coming over to get. We're going to see about getting this. If I can see it, which I can't. All right. Down we go to get this letter, and then we'll read both of the ones we just got. All right, so the first one we got is February 6th, 1866, from the Queen's Journal. A fine morning, terribly nervous and agitated. At 10:30, left Windsor for London with children, ladies, and gentlemen. Great crowds out. And so I had, for the first time since my great misfortune, an escort. Dressing after my luncheon, which I could hardly touch, wore my ordinary evening dress, only trimmed with a miniver, and my cap with a long flowing tulle veil, a small diamond and sapphire coronet, rather at the back, and diamonds outlining the front of my cap. It was a fearful moment for me when I entered the carriage alone and the band played. Also, when all the crowds cheered, I had great difficulty in repressing my tears, but our two dear affectionate girls were true help and support to me, and they so thoroughly realized all I was going through. The crowds were most enthusiastic, and the people seemed to look at me with sympathy. We had both windows open in spite of a very high wind. When I entered the house, which was very full, I felt as if I should faint. All was silent and all eyes fixed upon me, and there I sat alone. I was greatly relieved when it was all over, and I stepped down from the throne. So thankful that the great ordeal of today was well over, and that I was enabled to get through it. And then October 16th, 1866, to the Prince of Wales. Dear Bertie, yesterday evening, after dinner, received your letter of the preceding day on the subject of your visit to St. Petersburg, that you should like to see Russia, and above all, to be present at the marriage of dear Alex's sister, and that Dagmar should wish to see her kind brother-in-law's face at so trying a time. I think perfectly natural. I do not much like the idea. First, I think it's a bad time of year for you to go there. Secondly, that your trip to St. Petersburg, as you will remember, I told you 2 years ago when you wished to go to Dagmar's marriage with the other Caesar witch, ought to be for itself alone and not on such an occasion. And thirdly, I think the government overrate the importance of it in a political point of view. These are my reasons against it. And to that I may add another, which, dear child, you know I have often already alluded to, viz., your remaining so little quiet at home and always running about. The country and all of us would like to see you a little more stationary, and therefore I was in hopes that this autumn and winter this would have been the case. However, if you are still so desirous to go now, I will not object to it. All right. So these chests over here seem to be inside. Here's the first one. We get the Eagle Splendor Belt.
Get the intruder!
Alright, well, we're just gonna get everything. Like they could stop me. The Lignum Vitae. Invisible.
Surrender!
And there was the Ulfbert Blade. Another letter here. Alright. So we had another location. We had the White Drawing Room. Right, so get this. There's a room in Buckingham Palace called the White Drawing Room, and everything in the room is yellow. I can't tell you how much this frustrates me. Did it use too much... Did it used to be white paint? Did it go yellow? How much were people smoking in those days? If you're going to call it a white room, paint it white. Not Magnolia, not Sunset Dawn, not Jaundice Snowflake. White. Whatever. Here's some information. The White Drawing Room was designed by John Nash and served as a reception area for guests of the royal family from the very beginning. These days, the royal family uses the room as a backdrop for their family portraits and Moreso as a, I'm sorry, if they can't be bothered to paint it properly, why should they be bothered to talk about it? Sean sounds a little upset. So we have April 29th, 1865, to Mrs. Lincoln. Dear Madam, though a stranger to you, I cannot remain silent when so terrible a calamity has fallen upon you and your country. I must express personally my deep and heartfelt sympathy with you under the shocking circumstances of your present dreadful misfortune. No one can better appreciate than I can, who am... myself utterly heartbroken by the loss of my own beloved husband, who was the light of my life, my stay, my all, what your sufferings must be. And I earnestly pray that you may be supported by him, to whom alone the sorely stricken can look for comfort in this hour of heavy affliction. With the renewed expression of my true sympathy, I remain, dear madam, your sincere friend, Victoria R. And we had already read one from from Mary Todd Lincoln back. So we're gonna go to crafting. We're gonna go to gear. Alright, so we should be able to craft both of these now. We're gonna craft and equip the world's greatest cane sword, and we're gonna go and upgrade it now. The world's greatest. Did you know there are 23 species of vulture and not one of them has rubies for eyes? Alright, and then we will get this legendary assassin Kukuri at some point. But we use the cane sword, we don't use the Kukuri. So there should be another letter over here for some reason. Looks like there's a cargo escort over here. Where's this going? We're gonna take a look at this really quick. It's right outside. I mean, that is going a long way away. Oh my gosh, what am I stuck on? Since we were wanting to get Ned's stuff up anyway. Figured I might as well do that really quick. We'll just fast travel back here really quick because that'll get us close to another letter. Right. So there was another spot in Westminster here, the Royal Mews. The name the Royal Mews, despite being first and foremost a stable for the royal family, derives from its use as a home for the family's hunting falcons and hawks. Mews is a term for the time of year when the birds of prey shed their feathers, and not what you were thinking, the noise a pretty kitten makes. The Royal Mews moved to this spot in 1760 when King George III decided to relocate to Buckingham Palace. When George IV took the throne in 1820 and set about converting Buckingham House into a palace, he commissioned John Nash to rebuild the stables with grandeur. Further improvements were made to the mews when Queen Victoria moved into Buckingham. Prince Albert had a new forge installed and additional cow sheds built into the mews. You can never have enough cow sheds in central London. In 1855, Queen Victoria used her own money to establish the Buckingham Palace Royal Mews School, which served to educate the children of the stable's servants. The mews had nearly 200 employees at the time, and accommodations were built for them and their families in 1859. And then we had got two more royal correspondence. So April 27th, 1865, to the King of the Belgians. My most beloved uncle, your two precious little letters of the 23rd and the 25th have touched me deeply. That you should think of writing to me when you are feeling weak and unwell is too kind. Dr. Jenner has written daily to me, and he laments deeply that you did not in the beginning follow their advice and did not take enough nourishment, which would have prevented all this sinking and weakness. Beloved uncle, I earnestly and seriously entreat you never to neglect the doctor's advice again, and think how valuable your life is for all of Europe, not to speak of me and your children. We have most extraordinary weather, real July, with a perfectly cloudless sky and deep blue sea. It is indeed quite marvelous and not wholesome. These American news are most dreadful and awful. One never heard of such a thing, and I only hope I will not be catching elsewhere. I heard from dear Countess. I sent you before I was from Vicky. And she is most favorable to the idea of a Prince Christian of Austenburg. And the thing... out of there. would now be to see how by degrees it could be naturally brought about. I will send you the copy of what she says about it tomorrow. I hope to hear your dear opinion. Ever your devoted and unhappy niece, VR. And then June 13th, 1865, to the Prince of Wales, my dear Bertie, I fear I cannot admire the names you propose to give to the baby. I hope for some fine old name. Frederick is, however, the best of the two, and I hope you will call him so. George only came over with the Hanoverian family. However, if the dear child grows up good and wise, I shall not mind what his name is. Of course, you will add Albert at the end, like your brothers. As you know, we settled long ago that all of dearest Papa's male English descendants should bear that name, to mark our line, just as I wish all the girls to have Victoria at the end of theirs. I lay great stress on this, and it is done in a great many families. All right. And then if we go up this way, there should be a collectible flower. It's up over here. So the color we got just there was crimson from collecting all the stuff. And then location of Westminster Green Park. In 1660, King Charles II desired to be able to walk from Hyde Park to St. James Park without having to take his feet off royal soil. He was really down to earth like that. He commissioned the creation of what he called Upper St. James Park to bridge the unroyal gap between the aforementioned parks. The park was officially renamed Green Park in 1746. An explanation for the name change comes from a probably untrue story. When Queen Catherine discovered that King Charles had picked flowers from the park to give to another woman, she ordered the flower beds in the park to be removed in a fit of jealousy, marking the park entirely green. To this day, there are no flower beds in the park. Personally, I'm more concerned what he was picking flowers out of the park to give to some woman. What's the matter, mate? Can't find a florist? In June 1840, Edward Oxford attempted to assassinate Queen Victoria as her carriage passed outside of Green Park. He fired twice on the carriage, missed, and was subdued. This was the first of 8 attempts on the Queen's life. She was pregnant at the time. And then the flower that we got was the yellow daylily, Hemerocallis flava, coquetry. This fragile beauty is made the emblem of coquetry because the flower seldomly lasts a second day. All right, so if we head straight north from here, there should be another letter. There it is. And there was a chest we kind of ran by. All right, and then over here, kinda, is another letter.
Did you hear something?
There it is. All right, and before we read, we're going to go see about kidnapping this last bounty hunt, who is Ivan Banbury. Chosen from elite few, Ivan was tasked with establishing a blighter outpost on Buckingham grounds, intending to remain and harass the Queen. Ivan operates under the orders of Templar gang leader Lilia Graves and has shared his mission with a group of able-bodied brethren. Last known location, Buckingham grounds, wanted for disturbing the peace, trespassing on private property.
All right, spread out. We need to find the perfect spot to build our stronghold. If you need help, I told you no one can stop me. Fighters, show this woman her strength!
Get out of here. So before we get him, since he's just standing still. Grab those.
What? Bugger off!
Let's go for a stroll.
I'll kill you, I will. Do not get in my way.
Quiet down. I said quiet, Mr. Bunbury. If that is your real name.
You can't stop me. Now I can. I'm here on a mission to build the Blighter stronghold under the orders of the Blighter herself. And so help me, I will finish what I've started.
And what is your purpose in all this?
Is there not a way out of these
But if we
park?
build the Blighter stronghold, we can take Buckingham for ourselves. Then the Blighters will rule all of London. Miss Lilla will be so proud of what we accomplished today.
I have a feeling the police won't be nearly so impressed.
Get me out of here! Help me! I'm being kidnapped!
All right.
Faster! Come on! Faster! Come on! Move it!
There we go.
Come on!
And that's our last bounty hunt.
You've done well.
It's the self-loading pistol model 1868. All right, well, we'd like to go get this. Our next gang war is available. It's what it said about Lilia Graves, who's already dead. With her upper crust parents, when her upper crust parents noticed young Lilia's inclination towards violence and foul language, they did everything they could to raise her daughter properly. Naturally, this pushed the young woman to rebel even further, and Lila, now orphaned, lives off her parents' fortune in Westminster. In recent years, she has garnered a fearsome reputation as both a heavyweight boxing champion and a cruel, calculating criminal. So a firearm here, pretty nice. We can already go ahead and upgrade and equip that. So it says a stark mechanical marvel worthy of industrial age. And then here in our database, we had got a couple more royal correspondence. So May 22nd of 1867. Dearest Bertie, These lines will be given you on my birthday with the insignia of the Order of the Thistle, which I know you wish to have, and which therefore I wish to give you on my poor old sad birthday. Once so happy and bright, I hope it will be quite a surprise to you. I mean to give dear Arthur, who is now 17, the garter on the same day. I would also have given Affy the office of constable of the Round Table, but his home is not properly in England, and the income is no consequence to him. I shall give it to poor Victor, who would ask you to tell him in my name, saying to him at the same time that I thought he ought now be very prudent and not to embark in any speculation. You should impress this strongly upon him. As Letchen and Christian live at Frogmore, I mean to take Christian Ranger of Windsor Park, which will give him some pleasant occupation and be a help to General Seymour. But it make no difference whatever as to the shooting, which remains entirely in my hands and under my direction. VR. And then December 16th, 1867, to Lord Stanley. The Queen has received Lord Stanley's letter of the 12th. She cannot doubt that Lord Stanley's wish to observe the constitutional practice of taking the Queen's pleasure before he forwards dispatches of any importance to their destination, but she cannot approve of the irregular habit which has crept in of sending off dispatches without her sanction having been previously obtained, trusting to the power of cancelling them by telegraph if disapproved. She would therefore certainly wish that the old custom of obtaining her approval before they are sent should be resumed. The Queen is not aware that she has ever failed in at once returning any box marked immediate, and when she at Windsor, not even a single post needed be lost by reference to her. She is must also remark with respect to the dispatch in question that though dated the 9th, it was only sent from the Foreign Office on the evening of the 10th and reached her on the 11th. The Queen would further observe that Lord Stanley's remark that there has been a wide difference between the expression of a personal opinion in conversation and the formal giving of advice by the government, etc., does not hold good, as the moment such conversations are recorded and the official dispatches supposed to have received the sanction of the sovereign, they entirely lose their character as private and personal communications. All right, so let's see. We need to get all the way down there. That's pretty far. We have one more letter to pick up. We have just a few more chests. I don't want to hijack that. Not right now. Alright, we'll get this.
Come on, move it!
There's a dead horse laying there. So we should take care of that.
Faster! Come on! Yeah! Come on! Yeah!
Well, there it is.
Well, it's been a long time, hasn't it? Where to begin?
Well, let's get the rest of the stuff here, and then we'll head back to our train.
America with Wilkinson.
I was young and foolish. Hungry for action too, but...
Yeah, we'll do that in just a bit.
Pardon me, dear. Oh, cover!
Grab this. And somewhere over here, there should be another letter. Be our last letter. All right, we get the Emerald Isle Cape. So here is the last Buckingham secret. Here is the cape that we just got. And the collectible we got was January 22nd, 1866, to Earl Russell. The Queen can assure Lord Russell that he need be under no apprehension of her not arriving in time for the opening of Parliament. If she has the whole Monday open, she can go when she likes, and with Alberta, she can no longer cause a fear to bad passage. To enable the Queen to go through what she can only compare to an execution, it is of importance to keep the thought of it as much from her mind as possible, and therefore the going to Windsor to wait 2 whole days for this dreadful ordeal would do her positive harm. The Queen has never till now mentioned this painful subject to Lord Russell, but she wishes once for all to just express her own feelings. She must, however, premise her observations by saying that she entirely absolves Lord Russell and his colleagues from any attempt ever to press upon her what is so very painful and effort. The Queen must say that she does feel very bitterly a feeling of those who ask the Queen to go open Parliament. That the public should wish to see her, she fully understands, and has no wish to prevent quite the contrary. But this wish should be of so unreasonable and unfeeling and natural as to long to witness the spectacle of a poor, broken-hearted widow, nervous and shrinking, dragged in deep mourning, alone in state as a show, where she should go supported by her husband, to be gazed at without delicacy of feeling, is a thing she cannot understand, and she never could wish her bitterest foe to be exposed to. She will do it this time as she promised it, but she owns she resents the unfeelingness of those who have clamored for it, of the suffering which it will cause her. Nervous as she now is, she can give no idea, but she owns she hardly knows how she will go through it. Were the Queen a woman possessed of strong nerves, she would not mind going through this painful exhibition, but her nerves, from the amount of anxiety and constant and unceasing work, which is now quite overwhelming her, as well as from her deep sorrow, a terrible and increasingly shaken, she will suffer much more for some time after from the shock of her nervous system which this ordeal will occasion. It is hard when she works and slaves away all day until late at night not to be spared at least such trials. What a note. A note of nothing. All right, so all we have left, I think, are these 3 chests over here, and then the gang war. Let's go get these 3 chests and do the gang war, and then we'll be done with Westminster. Maybe we'll go to our train first to pick up our income, because we just need to hop over to do that.
What does she think she's doing?
All right, let's fast travel to our train.
Seems a letter has come for Jacob.
Solid okay. But even a stick of it.
There's not another thing here with Mr. Green, is there? Nothing with this guy.
Seems a letter has come for Jacob.
Evie, a man couldn't have a better sister.
Good to see you.
Just access souvenirs there.
Gracious good morning, mister.
All right, so let's hop over to here and do the gang war. Right over there. All right.
I always knew the Rooks were strong, but I didn't think you stood a chance against the Bludger. There isn't much standing in your way now.
All right, here we go.
This borough is ours for the taking. Westminster is ours for the taking.
Well, that was it. We just took out a few guys, and that.
We are Evie and Jacob Fry. And as of this moment, you all work for us.
All right, and that's Westminster done. Get out of here. All right, so we're going to go into our crafting really quick, and we're going to craft this Kukuri. And it says, for the assassin who has everything. All right, now we're going to hop over to here. What's our closest fast travel? There's really not a close fast travel. Still turn on the rest of those music discs. Alright, we're getting pretty close, so we head up this way.
Come on, bloody Pegasus! Not dead yet, I hope.
I remember there was like a construction area up over here that we had to go into a tunnel to get there.
Government regulation of panaceas.
What could be happening?
All right, we got 4 more spots to insert. Excellent. One more.
I suppose they've got another suit back there, do you? That one looks a bit tight for me.
And you would look a right tit in it.
Bunch of experience. We get the Aegis. This is the weapon that we just got. So the outfit we had got, this one here. Could it be the garments of Minerva, member of the first civilization? It is believed Minerva wore this protective outfit while in combat. She's a reason people believe she was a goddess of war. Decreased melee and increased cane sword. Well, we should equip that. It's gonna stand out a little bit, isn't it? I don't know what's with this, like, static on it. Something because it being first civ. Alright, we gotta get out of here so we can fast travel. And now we're going to go down here, do some boat raids and such to get Ned's relation. When we get enough money, we'll upgrade our outfit. There was a boat raid over here. I'm not gonna lie, I think that static flickering is really gonna get on my nerves. Because it looks like the game's glitching, but I know it's not. Manifest is way down there. Right. I hit him. Easy peasy. Question is how many do we need to do to finish out Ned? And it looks like quite a bit, because it goes up pretty slowly. But this is going to net us a ton of money doing this. We're really just doing it for that last schematic, though.
Come back again,
So let's swap to Jacob for a bit, because we haven't used Jacob in a while. Sure, he's got all the best equipped. We haven't had him out for a while, so we haven't had to look at his stuff. We'll read those later. Alright, so let's go do this boat raid next. Trying to just get across as quickly as possible.
Ready to depart! Dry land on arm wrestling.
Alright, Manifest is down here. The people on this other boat that are the problem. And the rest are all up here. Alright. Another boat raid down.
A good haul, boss.
Everything! I believe that shall help you greatly.
Alright. This is one where we have to destroy boxes. I think it's what a smuggler mode is. Anyway, I mean, there's some guys down here. We're going to take them all out. You didn't die all the way. He doesn't do quite as much throwing knife damage as Evie does. Nah. Wanted to pick up this. I guess he was on top of it. Why didn't that explode? Oh, hi. All right. But already refilled all of our stuff. That's nice. Just trying to get over to this next smuggler boat over here. I didn't go over anybody there, really? Get out of here. Alright, well this one didn't explode. We'll just ignite it. Same thing with that one. Okay. Good deal. Well, we filled up a good amount of Ned's stuff, so that's nice. You need to upgrade your belt. I think we still also, well, we already have that upgraded. And then there's another one over here. So if I hop this way. We'll do one more and then we're going to call it an episode because it'll reload everything whenever we play again on Friday. Hey, buddy.
Singing a different tune once
What's he doing here? All right. Oh, I pressed B. Come on. Well, it's creeping up there. We added this other Kukuri to upgrade. All right, let's hop back to our train and collect our income.
A letter. For me?
All right, and this is where we're going to end our episode for today. We do hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you next time.